This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home, all my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics, so you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together, we have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
Hey, what's up, fam? And welcome back again to Recap Kickback Live. And that's right, it's me, Chappell, back again to talk to you about another iteration of the Flavor of Love universe. This time, Rock of Love episode 3. And with me to talk about Rock of Love episode 3, someone who just watched it for the very first time. It's my co-host, Chantele Francis. Chantele, welcome back.
Thank you for having me, of course. And like we were saying before we came live, these ladies are crazy.
Yes.
And it's fun to see because we don't really get to see people take it this far anymore. Like, it's nipped in the bud way earlier. And if it were to ever get even close to the kind of the level of contention that it did this episode, I think they both would have been kicked off of most shows nowadays. Right?
Yeah, we've got some conflict to talk about when it comes to the girls in the Rock of Love house in this episode. But first, let me thank all the people here joining us live for this. We didn't really give anybody any heads up about our recording time today. So I'm excited that we do have some of the OGs in the chat as well. I see you, Just Kelly, Melissa, and Hornhub out here. But yeah, if you want to join the party, come watch us live on Sundays. We go live anywhere between 11 and 3 Eastern. So if you catch us, you catch us. We try to get that news out a little bit earlier so that people can join us. But if we can't, just be here for the party because it's a good time. Make sure you like the video. Chantele, we are creeping up on 3,000 subscribers here on Recap Kickback. So shout out to all the people. Yeah, all the people who have joined. It seems like we're gaining followers faster right now. Maybe it's because I keep telling everybody that we're coming up on 3,000. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast, youtube.com/@recapkickback. And then subscribe to the podcast feed, recapkickback.com/subscribe. Now, we do have to get into this episode of Rock of Love, but I want to address what you were talking about, Chantele. This episode reminded me where we came from in reality TV history. Because with Flavor of Love, yeah, people were mean. People were definitely mean. They were saying some wild things. There were some phobias and some isms that we don't like to perpetuate these days. And we got to see the women get into altercations. They got into physical altercations. It happened a few times. And we were like, oh, dang, what a crazy bunch of people. But now that we're bringing in Rock of Love as well, we're starting to see that this is just the landscape of reality TV at the time, because these Rock of Love girls are no different. They are combative. Their house is split, and they are stopping at nothing to kind of eliminate their competition, to get under each other's skin, and to say the most awful things and off the wall things about each other possible. So yeah, to your point, I think nowadays, I don't know if it's just people don't want that on them to where they're remembered for that kind of thing. The internet has such a long memory for things. In a weird way, things happen and then we just find the next cool thing, but it's also solidified on the internet forever. And I think back then they just didn't think of life like that. But nowadays we're just not getting conflict like this on reality
TV. 100%. I'm thinking in those days, I don't even have a photo of my debauchery that I experienced. Not a photo, not a, it's just a distant memory in my mind of like what I was doing when I was their age. So That's probably why they were more candid. That's probably why it was more reality, we'll say. It's less being aware that people are watching you or that you're going to get fame. We did talk a little bit about fame this episode, but it's different now. Like the followers. If you think of just Love Island this season, leaving the villa with 3.5 million followers on Instagram, like that's absolutely insane compared to then, where maybe they get invited to do a Maxim photo shoot. Or or come to a club for $2,000 in like some random city. So yeah, I think their antics, they were more free to do the bigger antics because they weren't going to be as, covering things up.
Right. And in this episode, we just saw that sometimes these personal differences are going to take control of the narrative for the episodes. And so we do have to get into the big conflict of the episode. It's going to be Lacey versus Dallas, and we saw this kind of start last episode. It's been building. We see that Dallas is on the good girl side of the house, or aka the boring girls, as Heather will call them, and then on the bad girl side of the house we have Lacey, and these two women are disagreeing on it was like a philosophical level. Lacey,
is it moral? Is it philosophical?
I don't really know if it's moral, because I think Dallas made a couple good points about Lacey's potential hypocrisy in these moments. But I think Lacey's standpoint is that she stands with PETA and she loves the animals and she doesn't think people should eat animals. And it starts there. But with Dallas and her being at odds, we've seen Dallas antagonizing Lacey in the past, talking about how, oh no, she thinks all animals deserve to die and be eaten, which is a very extreme idea, which we know is probably just to get under her skin. And Lacey is pushing back by saying things like, Dallas, why don't you go eat a squirrel right now? And so between the two of these crazy people, we got to the point where I thought we might have a fight on Rock of Love.
Well, I think it's really inappropriate of Lacey to be putting her hands on Dallas, trying to antagonize her enough so that she would hit her and then she would be thrown off the show. Like, I think that's actually really rotten behavior. Now, Dallas also is being antagonizing in her own way, with like knowing that it's going to push Lacey's buttons with like all of her comments about animals, and she even put on all of the animal fur and leather jacket, and like she really was going far out. But I do feel like Dallas's version of antagonizing is a little bit more PG. Okay, I'm gonna put on a fur jacket, look at me, and do a fashion show. And instead, Lacey is putting her hands on Dallas as a way to antagonize. So I'm on both of their sides for different reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you automatically lose me the moment you put your hands on somebody in the house, because at that point, I'm like, if that person slaps you, then to me, they're within their right. You can't put your hands on people. We said the same thing when New York showed up for season 2 of Flavor of Love. She comes in, she puts her finger in Crazy's face, put that finger right there in her forehead. And I was like, hey, had Crazy just punched New York in the face, I think she would have been within her right, because New York, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? We love New York, but the shaking of the chair, what you gonna do, pushing their finger in the face, that's a lot. And so we see Lacey come and put her finger right in the middle of Dallas's face. And from there, I thought Dallas handled this for about as maturely as I would have expected, trying to walk away, repeatedly saying, don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. So if anytime the production people were like, you hit her, blah, blah, Dallas could always say, I have repeatedly told her to stop touching me, and she won't stop touching me. And Lacey, to your point, is trying to get Dallas to hit her. It's not that like New York didn't think Crazy was going to hit her. She was actually bullying Crazy. She knew, hey, Crazy is not the big bad wolf here. I am. And all these women are terrified of me because they think I'm in charge of eliminations. I'm also New York, but here Lacey said, oh, I hope Dallas hits me. I want her to hit me because I want her to go home. And so it was just ridiculous 2000s-ish conflict, I guess I call it.
Was it like, would you consider it to be a microaggression? Like, why is she antagonizing the only Black woman in the house to the point where she would hopefully hit her?
Right. I don't know where to draw the line at microaggression is, because the reason why I say that is because we have seen Dallas antagonize Lacey before. You know, it's not like, well, why does Lacey have such an issue with Dallas? Like, it's very clear.
I think it's the pushing, though, to physical violence. Like, it's like, oh, I know I can push her buttons enough to, like, get her to punch me. So, I don't know. If she was still in the house, I would keep my eye on that, because I'd be like, why can't you let this go with this particular woman? You know?
Right. And the crazy thing is that because we lose Dallas in this episode, ain't no other black women in the game. So it's not even like we can track this even further. It's like, okay, now that Dallas is gone, we just have to assume that this was just two people who didn't get along. And then if you're watching with a critical eye, you could say there's probably a really good reason why Lacey thinks that Dallas is going to hit her. And it's because Lacey thinks that Dallas is someone who would hit somebody. And why do you think that? You know, let's dive a little bit deeper into that. So we could probably get into what made you think this black woman was going to hit you in the first place. But there were cheap shots thrown on both sides this time around. So I can't definitively say either or.
Do you think somebody else is going to emerge as Lacey's foe?
I would like to think so. You know,
like Clavicle Jess.
Clavicle Jess is a crazy name, and we're gonna get to that in just a moment, because I wrote that down too. So yeah, I don't really know. The thing about Rock of Love is that I've watched this season before multiple times, but nowhere to the nearly as much as I've seen Flavor of Love, Flavor of Love 2, and I Love New York. I know them pretty well. You know, I know Charm School a little bit less, and then this is the one that's the weakest of all of them for me. So I actually don't remember if Lacey is going to come back and be a demon with somebody else. But through this episode, I just don't think she can help it. I think that the demon is going to come out very soon, because we do have this house split. We have the bad girls, which are Brandy C, Heather, Lacey, and Christia. And then the good girls, aka the fake girls, as they would call them, Magdalena, Aaron, Mia, Sam, Jess, and Dallas. And so Lacey says, I just looked up and thought, why is Dallas still here? And now my goal is to get her out. And again, it's like,
why Dallas?
Why Dallas? Now, again, if you rewind it back to the last episode, Dallas was picking at Lacey too, but we don't really know, right? We don't know. So we don't know which came first. You know, was Lacey and Dallas already beefing first? And then Dallas starts to pick on her about the animals. I don't know. So something that I guess we could track throughout this episode. Chantele, the challenge here is that they are going to race for Brett's heart. They're going to go do motocross. Have you ever ridden like a motorcycle or a dirt bike?
I've ridden they're called funny bikes in the Dominican Republic, which is basically like a 4-wheeler ATV. So it does have gears. So I think it's the similar mechanics of one of those motocross bikes, but it was like I don't know if it might have 1 or 2 wheels in the front and then 2 wheels in the back. And then you had to do like the gears and the thing and kick the pedal thing to start it. So I've done that. So I understand the mechanics to a certain extent.
What do you think about this as a challenge on a dating show?
I mean, I think it's very fun. I would enjoy it personally, but I feel like they maybe needed a little more training.
Yeah.
I think a little dangerous. It seems like the insurance companies were like, oh, you're doing what? Like, I don't know if they gave them the full information to allow this challenge to go through, because like that looks dangerous.
It was bad. There were definitely moments where I thought somebody could really get hurt. But the women were down for the cause. Brett pulls up on his bike and says motocross is one of the loves of his life. And he wants his woman to like it as well. He brings in these 2 champs, Mercedes and Charity, and they are bitter rivals. And he's about to show the women how it's done. And so they kind of get a quick lesson. We see Magdalena can't get the helmet on her head. Brandy C says, Mag the Neanderthal looks like a space alien. Chantele, this woman peed on herself trying to get that helmet on her head.
She was laughing so hard, Chappell, laughing so hard. But you never told me if you've ever ridden one of these motocross bikes before.
Honestly, I don't remember. So it's not something I would not be like, oh, I wouldn't do. And I've ridden ATVs before, but I don't know if I've ever ridden a motorcycle. I think I have.
I feel like it's something that I would do, but like I don't recall specifically like a 2-wheel bike.
I've done so much, not to sound braggy, but I've done so much random stuff that it's really hard sometimes to remember, like, oh yeah, I've done that. I think I was talking to somebody about a helicopter recently, and I was like, oh man, I would love to go on a helicopter ride. And I was like, oh, I've done that before.
Yeah,
Well, I want to do it
too.
again. Like, let's do it again.
But
That's
correct.
fine.
You
So
wouldn't or you would?
I would, yeah, I would
Oh.
totally do it again, but I'd forgotten that I'd done it before, and so I'm not saying that I definitely have. I definitely don't have any memories tied to riding a motorcycle, but I do have some riding tied to ATVs. I think when we went to Mexico, we did like the ATVs,
similar thing to me.
to the ocean and all that kind of stuff. It was really cool. So yeah, similar situation to you, but never as a competition. I don't think I've ever raced anybody.
Yeah,
and,
like I've definitely done like a go-kart vibe, like on a track.
yeah.
I don't think I've done any like hilly things like that on a track.
Yeah, for sure. What Tim pointing out that there's a lot of things that I've done in my life that I don't remember, and that is factual. So
Such as you like can't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah, the joy of not remembering is that I don't remember. So we see that the women are excited. Rodeo is very excited. She says it's going to be sexier than hell. Oh, well, Brett said it's going to be sexier than hell watching these women, or it's going to hurt a lot. And I think we get a little bit of both. Mia is a standout. Brett's talking about how hot Lacey is. Dallas gets on the bike and she starts flying immediately, taking off. It just out of control. I think she wasn't grasping how to accelerate without flooring it,
That's what I'm saying. More training was necessary here. Because that is a very dangerous piece of equipment and that she had no control over. And yeah, I wouldn't even want to be around her with just this wild woman on this bike, like coming for you. Yeah.
Right. And they identify that she can't ride this bike, but immediately say, okay, let's do a relay race. I said, okay, that's not wise. If you see that this woman's having struggling to ride this bike now, why would you then put her on the track to see if she could ride it over there? That just doesn't seem like it just doesn't seem safe, Chantele.
Not safe at all.
Could you see the Flavor of Love girls doing a challenge like this?
Yes, because I'm thinking of the relay race. I feel as though I don't know if they'll be as wild and crazy as Dallas here, but I think it would be a good time. It might be a fun watch.
I just picture New York on the back of that horse. You're like, so her on a motorcycle would be crazy.
I don't know. Do you think she'd actually do it though? I feel like she might be no.
I don't know. She was a pretty good sport with Flav. I think if Flav is like, New York, you gotta do it. I think she does it, but I don't think it's pretty. I think it's maybe going really, really slow, or something like that. I think there's a few women that probably from Flavor of Love that would have embraced it, but I don't think New York.
I feel like Crazy would be good at it for some reason.
Yeah, maybe. No, I was gonna say maybe Pumpkin. Nah, maybe Delicious. I think Delicious is kind of like she seems adventurous.
Yeah, she seems cool, good at stuff.
Yeah, I think New York called Hoops a good time gal.
I can see Hoops be good at this as well. Now, do you find a woman on a motocross sexy? Is that a fantasy vibe? Oh, because we have to put that in our horny tracker, right?
Oh yeah. He definitely said this turns him on. Yeah, this is in the horny tracker for sure. Yeah, for sure. For me, is it net neutral? It's like it's transportation. That's all.
Like the helmet or really flooring it doesn't get you like Brett.
Nah, not like Brett. Brett has some very interesting turn-ons that we will find out throughout this entire season. So they end up picking teams, and we get our 3 team captains are Magdalena, Aaron, and Heather. Magdalena and Aaron are both on the good girls side of the house, Heather being the representative of the bad girls side. And so Magdalena ends up picking Rodeo, Brandy M, and Sam, who are all firmly, I guess, on the good guys side, the good girl side. I think there's also, hold on, I think she gets Brandy C as well. And then Aaron ends up getting Mia, Jess, and then Aaron was the one who picked Brandy C, because she hates Brandy C, but she just refused to have Dallas crazy ass driving on her team. And then Heather has Lacey, Christia, and she is the one who is stuck with Dallas. Now, I thought the teams were fleshing out to kind of be like the good girls versus the bad girls, but that little switch up at the end with Dallas, Aaron was like, I might not want like Brandy C, but I know we're not going to win this if Dallas is there.
Oh, poor Dallas. Last pick. Last pick out this episode. She just had a good episode for her. Poor thing. No. But I probably wouldn't pick her either if I'm trying to win, right?
Not if you're trying to win. But here's the thing. Lacey was talking all this trash about how, Dallas couldn't drive and it was funny that she fell down and all this other stuff. But not even before they finished the first lap, down goes Lacey. She's losing it. She can't get the bike to start. And Dallas says, I can't believe that fucking dumb bitch Lacey is going to lose it for all of us. So yeah, Lacey talked all that noise and then looked like she was just about as bad as Dallas.
Well, worse, because like she couldn't get the bike to start again, right? Like they were saying it was in gear. Like, could you understand what was going on with her not being able to start up? Like,
what I'm assuming is, what I'm assuming is this is a manual transmission, and so she needs to go back to neutral or to first, and she's trying to start it from
third or whatever,
third or something like that, right? And so they're like, if she puts it back into gear, then I think she can go, but she's already in like a higher gear, so she's not going to get it to go anywhere. It's just going to stall out. And so Heather ends up running over and saving
right?
the day.
They needed lessons on how to ride this bike.
It sounds like they didn't know what they were doing, Chantele.
Very dangerous. Needed lessons. But I guess no lessons gave you this drama, so is that what the producers are going for? They're just risking life and limb over potential drama?
I think that's normal for reality TV back then. I think because think about, let's talk about a show I know you know very well. In the challenge, the one of the most iconic moments of the challenge is
Leroy
a challenge.
No.
Prior to that, a challenge where they're suspended in the air. And we have Veronica and Julie are up there fighting for their, fighting to unlatch each other from the things. But Julie is trying to unlatch Veronica's harness, which would make her fall to her death, basically. And everybody's screaming, Julie, stop, Julie, stop. And Veronica's like, she's trying to kill me. Now, had Julie not stopped, she would have murdered Veronica. And I think that's the end of reality TV. Like, I think that's done. So they were being really reckless back in the day.
That was a crazy moment, and Julie was a little bit unhinged.
A lot of unhinged.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Obviously, that didn't go through. But like, what was she doing?
Maybe one day you and I go back and watch whole episodes of the challenge or something, because that is crazy. But this is very similar, like it's not a fall to your death, but anybody could have fallen off of these bikes and got hurt. I mean, they're wearing pads and stuff, but it's clear that they don't know what they're doing. So the race is continuing. I think Jess and Brandy M are getting around the track with no problem before Lacey's finally behind them. Brandy C ends up going, and she's very happy because she says she looks so good in her outfit. I think Sam's next behind her. Christia goes, and she's going about 1 mile an hour, which is kind of what I thought I would see for somebody like New York. But Heather finally gets on. She's able to kind of close the gap. But Dallas, it's her turn, and she's flying. Like, she takes off at like 50 miles per hour, just like out the gate, 0 to 50 and no time flat, and completely hits a bump and goes flying in the air, flying feet off the ground. Like, it just crumples down onto the ground. People are running over like, is she okay? Did she die? I'm thinking, yeah, did she die? She said she thinks she broke her tailbone.
Yes, her caucus. Yeah, that was really, I mean, I would be terrified if I were actually there watching. I mean, like, ooh, okay, we should hear more, Michael. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it is insane what they what almost happened. Yeah, she looks like crumpled doll on the ground. I thought they would have stopped maybe the competition, but no, the show must go on. And same with her. She thought the show must go on, which was impressive.
She hops right back on to try to win it again, but it's clear she can't close the gap. And while Mia thinks she can ride, she has one problem. Rodeo says she ain't got nothing on her. What did you think about Rodeo in this episode?
She's definitely playing bouncer, and she's so
Yeah.
she's so sturdy and muscular. You see her really manhandle Lacey to separate her from Dallas. I do think though she's a front runner. I think like as much as Brett seems to like these younger women, I do think that he will end up having Dallas and like Heather in his finals. You know what I mean? Like I just like feel like they're just the right level of maturity, and he's just kind of having fun like making out with all these girls. But I think that one of the two of them at this point are my front runners.
Right. This was a relatively quiet episode for Heather. I mean, she was a team captain, so we got a few confessions for her, but I thought this was a really good episode for Rodeo for sure. Even in this race, she's behind, but she's talking about how she saw that good looking man waving that flag, and she just takes the lead, and she wants to fly off the bike and into his arms. And she said, I rode it like a rodeo should. And she thinks it turned Brett on. And I was like, well, we'll put that on the list too, because it probably did.
Yeah, if they think it's going to turn Brett on, it goes on the horny meter.
Absolutely. So Magdalena and Sam, then Rodeo, and Wild Thing, aka Brandy M, are going to get the date. This pink team is hype, and so on the way home, the girls start popping bottles in the stretch limo or the stretch Hummer.
Hummers are Hummers still around?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like when those Hummers came and we're just like all those gas like guzzlers, like yeah.
It was the first ugly vehicle, like because the Hummers aren't that ugly.
I like them way more than the Cybertruck.
You knew where I was going. Yeah, the Cybertruck is the new one where you look at it like, oh my God, I can't wait for it to go away.
But it's like I would be so embarrassed to be inside of a Cybertruck and like. Yes. So ugly. I think I have a picture of one.
No, I saw a blue one the other day. I didn't know they came in colors. I thought they were all black or gray.
I've only seen like slate gray. Before.
No, I saw one that was a color. Ooh. I said, oh, I didn't know you could do that. The Hummer was definitely a talking point back then, especially like, a stretch Hummer. It just would just show you how much luxury you had. And the Flavor of Love girls were not riding around a stretch Hummer. Sometimes they rode in the limo, but I remember them early days, they were on a bus. And so, so you could take VH1's picking up, they got a little cash now. They've done three seasons of TV. They got a little bit more money to spend on some of the stuff they're doing.
When do we change to the Sprinter van? Because like Sprinter vans all the housewives usually use a Sprinter van. But it must have been limos before, but now it's like the Sprinter.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Flavor of Love girls were in a Sprinter van when Rain is yelling over that back seat. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. Man, Chantele, think about who New York was in that episode. Where she's like, I just don't want to talk to you all. I don't have to be friends with you. And we've come so far.
So far. We have so far to go.
Yeah. So this group is getting drunk. Again, we talked about this. This is another one of those moments where Lacey and Dallas start to beef. Lacey says she was in a bad mood because how poorly she did in the race. And so her next, I guess, stress relief is going to be to pick on Dallas. Look, Dallas, there's a squirrel out there. Are you going to eat it? And Dallas calls her out about being a hypocrite. I thought Dallas made some very solid points because you're wearing leather currently. And Brett was wearing snake. He is also wearing leather quite often. Also, he eats meat. So if you're that anti animals and fur, you should be pretty anti Brett Michaels from Dallas's standpoint. I think it's valid.
I think it's a valid point. If this was a debate class, I think that she would have won this argument in with her facts, with her points. Now, like, okay, I remember, like, for me, when I was vegan, it was because I didn't want to contribute to the mass consumption of animals and just like, just the gluttony that of like, how the industry just like kills and slaughters and eats and yeah. Anyways, I didn't want to contribute to that, and so my reasoning was a little bit different because like people are like, oh, what about leather shoes? And I'm like, also, like, I don't necessarily want to contribute in that way, but like, I wasn't sticking my flag in and saying like, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that and you shouldn't do this, and then I would still be wearing leather shoes. So yeah, I think that Lacey, she was being a bit of a hypocrite.
Oh yeah, and she was picking on Dallas. Again, Dallas. There's a moment where Dallas is on that bus being like, girl, I will F you up." I don't know what she said to her, but she's like, "You go threaten me? All right, I'm gonna F you up." Everybody's like, "All right, this got to slow down." But instead of de-escalating it, the two women go back to the house and they go suit up for battle. Lacey is in her room putting on her PETA shirt and saying like, "I'm gonna go and tell Dallas that that she can't treat animals any kind of way." And I have my PETA shirt, and in my mind I was like, "Oh, here Lacey goes being a demon, antagonizing this woman." But we cut to Dallas and she's suiting up too. She's like, "Give me everything." So she's putting on fur and leather and all kinds of stuff. The rest of the women are giving her their any basically wearable animal that they have. And so Lacey shows up with her PETA shirt, but Dallas comes in like a fashion show covered in leather and fur. Like, okay, well, look at me. And so the two of them were just never going to get along, Chantele.
And they were, but I do like the way that Dallas was coming back, like hidden back. Like, I think this was like harmless reality TV antics, compared to Lacey's, in my opinion, inappropriate antics, in retaliation.
The moment Lacey put her hands on her, I was like, all right, all bets are off. I think everything prior to that, I don't care. Like, what? I don't care. Like, if y'all want to argue and wear animals and talk about each other for not wearing animals and all kinds of stuff, whatever, fine. It's within y'all's right to make good TV for me. But the moment you touch somebody, I'm like, hey, if that person hits you, I'm not taking your side. I could be a producer because I'm like, hey, the rule is don't put your hands on somebody, but you antagonize that person to hit you, and by touching them, you didn't have to touch them. And I don't mean like,
what if Dallas had pushed her and like she fell down the stairs?
See, that's why they should have stepped in. And that's a good point, Chantele. Though production is watching this happen, right? So they see this happen. They see Dallas being like, "Don't touch me." There's definitely a couple moments where Dallas is pushing her off of her, and it's like, okay, we can't allow that to happen. But at no point do we see production people come and step in or anything like that. It ultimately becomes a Rodeo who will come in and remove Lacey from the situation. But between Lacey antagonizing Dallas pushing her multiple times, and then even the way Rodeo decides to deal with the situation, somebody could have got very hurt.
Absolutely, someone could have got very hurt. And I really thought someone was going down those stairs. Like, I thought it would have been a tussle. And then we'll get those white woman tears. Those would have been flowing, be like, she pushed me, I fell down the stairs, and you'd be like, you deserved it. But yeah, I obviously don't want anybody to get hurt, but you deserved it.
She definitely deserved it. The name calling, like I said, the name calling doesn't bother me at all. She calls her a waste of sperm and eggs. But every time she touches Dallas pushes her off and says, "Stop touching me. Stop touching me."
It's a wrap.
I was reminded of Bucky on that balcony when she almost killed Crazy. She almost murdered Crazy in front of everybody. Just sent her flying through the air over the balcony, over the thing. It's like, that girl was fine. In the words of Bucky, she gave me a little punk ass push. So I pushed her back. And next thing you know, we saw New York being like, and then Crazy could have died. She really could have been murdered. We got to get Bucky out the house. This was worse than that, in my opinion. That little push from for Bucky, that was fine. Crazy was not going to fly over that rail. I don't know why they thought she would. It was tall. It was about her height. But here, the wrong push from Dallas, that could have sent Lacey toppling down the stairs, and then they would have blamed Dallas, when in reality, production should have stepped in the moment they started to put their hands on each other.
Exactly. Or like maybe even the other girls. Like I know like Rodeo eventually goes in and breaks them up, but like I don't know if I would allow anybody to get to the point where they might go get physical. You know what I mean? In a house of women, I wouldn't interfere for men, but
right. And it shouldn't be Rodeo's job to step in. Yeah, why does Rodeo have to come and, like you said, be the bouncer? Because maybe if you sent the production person in, they could have done this in a way that didn't involve Lacey getting lifted and slammed up against the stairs. Rodeo completely tosses her like a rag doll.
Yes, and I was wondering if she's gonna get mad at Rodeo for that because like it looked a little painful.
In the U.S., there's a break-in every 26 seconds. But when intruders step near, Simply Safe Home Security steps up.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Using AI alerts, U.S.-based live agents help deter break-ins. Simply Safe, no long-term contracts. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/Spotify or with promo code Spotify.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.
I would have pretended like I wasn't mad at Rodeo because the way Rodeo tossed her up in the air, Lacey, you better be careful. People think Lacey is a demon, but Rodeo is scary. She handled her so quickly. She said, "I'm a Southern lady, but I manhandled that bitch."
Now, out of all the women that are left, would you say any of them are your type, or who'd be your closest to being your type?
No, I don't think my type's in this house.
The closest has a little bit of your type DNA.
It's not
Sprinkle.
Here. It's not here. No.
No?
Nothing. I got nothing.
Gun to your head.
Shoot me.
$1 million.
It's okay.
$1 million.
Money don't buy happiness.
Chappell.
Money don't buy you happiness. I can't see it. Maybe
Rodeo.
I mean, no, that's terrifying. No, maybe Aaron and her massive fun bags. Maybe that's where I gotta go.
Okay.
Their words,
her
not mine.
Her personality kind of stinks, though.
She's a little boring. You know who I thought was cool? Christia. She ends up getting eliminated in this episode. It's a very quiet episode, but I liked Christia. I think that's who I would pick if you had to, like, gun to my head. Because she was with Brandy C as kind of like the two Barbie twins, as they call it. When they put their boobs together, they're smarter. But yeah, I think I liked her. I think she was relatively normal. She was fun, so she was with the bad girls, which of course means the closest way to get to my heart, be fun. And so yeah, I think that's who it is.
Okay.
And then I think somewhere down the line, you probably got Rodeo. I don't know, but yeah, somewhere down the line, a little further. She looked like she could choke you, and for that I say that's good points. Like, you know,
you like what you're not gonna yuck.
That's in the pro category for sure. So Brad ends up going on this date, his first date with Sam and Magdalena, and he's showing them movies by the pool, and it's basically home videos. It's kind of like a documentary about Brett's life. What did you think about this as a date?
I'd like it, I guess. I guess it's to help those who have no idea who he is.
Honestly, I agree. And I like it because of that. I really wish Flav had thought to do that for some of the girls that were in the house with him, because some of them had never listened to his music. They never knew, right? And so part of the reason why he was eliminating them was like, I just don't think you understand me. You know, you don't really get my music. We don't have much to talk about. But at least this way, you could put them in front of it and say, okay, well, here's a little bit about me outside of you're looking for love and this is the first dating show that called you back, you know, or you thought I was attractive. At least now you can learn a little bit more. So we see people like Sam who get it. They're music people. They understand. They came on as fans. But then you get Magdalena who says, I am not a fan of yours. But like, you know, she's Polish. So she's like, it's a bit of a language barrier there. But she's trying to say, I didn't know you from your rock style lifestyle. So I'm here to get to know the real you. And I think there's merit to that.
There's merit for sure. And he did say that turned him on.
Did he say that turned him on?
He
I think
said,
so.
Yeah, he did say that turned him on. So someone that doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, he said she was from Poland, didn't know his music, which was almost a turn on. That counts. Ding.
Yeah, no, I think it's good, but it's also not good. I think she needs to know him a little bit, right? To know what she's getting into. Yes, it does make her seem to be here more genuinely, but I don't know. I think that eventually it's going to catch up to her that she's not going to necessarily appeal to him. You know what I mean?
So if we have our new hit show, Chantele of Love.
You saw what the chat was saying, and that's Chappell of Love.
We've already talked about me. Let's talk about you. We have Chantele of Love, and we have these suitors. These men are lined up to see which one Chantele loves the best. But then you have people who say, "Oh, Chantele, I'm such a big fan. I've been following your work as an actress, and then also I watched your podcast, and I've been dying to get to know you." And then you got somebody who says, "I've actually never heard your work before, but you seem really nice and I want to get to know you." Which one are you leaning toward?
Number two, for sure. Actually, because like I was like on a dating site recently, and like I was just telling him like I was asking like, "What do you do?" Blah, blah, blah. And like he was just too impressed, and like I was like, "You're not here, you're not at this level." So yeah, maybe I'd rather someone that has no idea. Yeah. So Magdalena, she for the win. Yes.
Yeah. So, you know what? Same. I just feel like when people know you or know your work prior, they have a preconceived notion of who you are and how you act.
Yes.
And then when they find out, like, it's, we're on a podcast, we're talking, we are, a little bit, we put on a little bit, and so I don't want there to be like this misconception that, oh, everything you've heard me say on the podcast is who I am and you already know me. Right. Mm-hmm. When I'd much rather you try to get to know me from scratch.
Yeah. It's in the dating world, like obviously anybody else, like, it's totally fine to be like, excited or impressed or like have a parasocial relation, like that I can deal with, but somebody to date, I think has to be separate from that.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I agree.
This second part of the date, Sam and Magdalena go on, and it's basically Brett kissing. And so he wasn't able to really bond with Magdalena about his music, but she has no issue kissing all over him. And we see that Sam is not a fan. She's like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be okay with watching this man kiss my friend. And it looks like she's not down for it. Eventually, she will kiss Brett. And she says, I heard angels singing while it was happening. Sam doesn't look like she's going to be able to deal with some of the perks of this rock star lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty ballsy just to be kissing right in front of like the other person that you're on a date with. Like that's just a little bit too much, and like he gets a little bit too intimate, into it in front of the other person. I'm just like, it would make me uncomfortable. So if that's rockstar lifestyle, I don't think I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's a lot. Now,
I guess so. Nowadays, though, we have like a lot of poly lifestyles, so maybe this would work.
Maybe, but Miss Royboy points out in the chat, this is a dating show. It is a dating competition show. If you're gonna be shocked when you see that man kissing somebody else, your feelings gonna be hurt. Imagine like on The Bachelor, somebody quit every time he kissed another woman in front of them. They'd be like, all right. And that's a conservative ass show. These shows are not that. They're kissing in front of each other. Sam actually tells Brett in this moment, it makes me uncomfortable with all these people around to be intimate with you. Like, I want to orgasm for you, and I can't do it with all these people around. All Brett heard, Chantele, was, I want to orgasm. And he's like, so now? Right now? Like, say when.
He's such a horn dog.
I think she started it. I think if they were just kissing, everything was fine. But you don't just tell somebody, I'm in the mood to orgasm, and think he's not going to react like, so,
can we make
yes, right? He's like,
can we work on this?
You want to orgasm? I want to make you orgasm. I feel like we're simpatico here, right?
Do we add this to hornometer?
For sure. And look, I don't blame him for this one. I don't blame this for this one because it felt like she was giving that type of consent, but she was trying to say over, like in general, if I wanted to orgasm with you, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it in a house with a bunch of other women here.
Well, clearly she didn't. I don't think she did that on the phone sex time. So she should have. Like, we didn't hear enough fake orgasms over the phone.
Yeah. Magdalena sees this as a weakness in Sam. She says Sam has trust issues and she doesn't. And so by the end of that, Brett literally says the words, "Game over. I'm horny." So we'll add that to the counter for sure. Next, we have Brandy, M, and Rodeo. They need some loving next. They go on a bitchin' date in the LA sun. And Rodeo's just happy because she really wants to see Brett with his shirt off. He asked them in the car, "So tell me, what's going on in the house? Tell me about the drama. What's the tea?" And Rodeo's like, "You gotta see, Lacey was tripping and Dallas was tripping." And ultimately, Rodeo says, "I don't think Lacey would be good for Brett, and I don't want her around his kids." And so she's going to take it upon herself to make sure that Brett knows that Lacey is not the one for him.
I don't think she is, but they're not getting rid of Lacey. Like, she's a mess. She's an instigator. She's the one that plays the drums, right? Like, she's in the band. She said she's pretty. Not a good target, but maybe they want just some airtime.
I think when they cast this show, they had women like Lacey in mind. And so now that they have their person, I think that you're right. I think she's going to get more airtime. They're going to really let her be, right? Because she's a rocker chick. She's edgy, she's going to call people out. She's going to play the drums. She's going to stick her tongue out a lot, okay.
Pull someone into the pool.
Right, exactly. But this is the second time that Lacey has put her hands on somebody and has not been dealt with. Yeah, and so I'm like, all right, maybe we got to do something or somebody might get hurt. Brett says, Lacey makes him feel like they would make such good love together, or she would kill him in his sleep, and he likes that.
This man, I actually can't wait to see this chart because, and you know what we should maybe try doing? I don't know what to do, but putting it into ChatGPT and see if we can, I want to know what it comes up with. Like, what type of person? I don't know what should we tell ChatGPT to extract when we get all this information about his turn-ons.
I don't even know what we're creating for him. Like, are we? What are we gonna do with all this information?
Draw a picture of what this person would look like?
And it's just Bret Michaels. It's just a picture of Bret Michaels. I don't know. What I want to do is I want to do like a stock watch type of chart. I haven't completed it yet, but by next episode, I really want to have it done where every episode we could kind of track his erection.
Did you say his erection?
I did.
Okay. I was sure you said direction or erection.
I mean both.
Erection.
Either one. So, okay. So they end up going to this boutique with Ashley Page. Is this a name I should know?
Is it bathing suits?
Well, it was a boutique where they made bathing suits, but she had a few like credits by her name as far as
I don't remember specifically,
she's dressed.
but it doesn't sound unfamiliar. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm looking at Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
There is an Ashley Page bikinis site. It's only got 300 posts and 2,000 followers, so I don't think that's the one. Okay. Ashley Page swimwear. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, it does look like maybe a reputable site. This Ashley Page woman. But she had a few creds by her name. I didn't write them down. But she's going to make these women custom bikinis as far as, for their date. And so Brett, of course, is loving this because Brandy looks awesome and made him stand on end. Chantele, what does he mean by that?
It goes to the meter.
It goes to
the erection chart.
Erection chart. I need to get a bell like Rob. So
swing.
Yeah, not swing. So
oh my God, look what Michael Horn wrote in the chat.
Oh, he says we'll call it the cock watch. Okay. I'm not shocked that this came from Michael Horn at all. So Rodeo says Brandy M can take her young ass home because rodeo is the main attraction here. And so they're kind of fighting for Brett's attention. He's obviously giving it to them as well. But the girls at the house have started to separate again. So we have the girls in the bad girls room, and they've created a wall of shame, making caricatures of the other women in the house. I saw them talking about Aaron's big fun bags. I think there was a chart that said, like, I'm Dallas, I'll eat your pets. And then clavicle Jess. Apparently Jess has big clavicles.
I think she's just skinny and you could see them maybe more pronounced.
Mm.
But like the drawings of her was crazy because it looked like her.
It was so good. Whoever the artist was for all of this stuff, you did not have to ask who they were drawing. Each caricature was pretty decent.
Good for like, you know, not necessarily being an artist, you know. I was impressed. It looks like all the people.
Same. So Brett ends up taking Rodeo and Brandy M to a hotel dinner, and we find out a lot more about Rodeo. She's got the Debbie Warner kind of like, I got 8,000 jobs thing going on. She talks about how she's had 5 blood transfusions, at least one being from her granny. So it's her granny's blood that kept her alive. She was an Olympic diver. She was just listing one after the next. And for some reason, Brandy M just cannot get a word in. She cannot outdo all of Rodeo's, stories and her talking up. She has a lot of class, she says, but she makes sure to tell Brett her favorite position is doggy.
There you go. I mean, did this end up going on his horny meter?
He didn't say it. Now I got,
but he didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything. He didn't. I think in the moment, I think he was kind of caught off guard because remember, we were just talking about blood transfusions and all kinds of, I think she was like, yeah, my favorite position is doggy. He's like, oh, okay. Good to know.
Okay.
Yeah. File that away.
I feel like I've seen Rodeo before. So maybe when she was like a diver, maybe I because like diving would be one of the, sports, I guess, that from the Olympics, like I would watch. So I wonder if I've seen her when she used to compete, because she looks familiar, and Heather looks familiar. I feel like Heather wins. Like that's, I don't know if that's why she looks familiar or what, but like that's kind of how I'm feeling. Both of them look familiar to me.
Yeah, we will see. We will see what happens. But Rodeo is for sure kind of like a jack of all trades. She's done so much stuff. Even now, I recently was on her Instagram page, and I think she's a talent agent, and she's a garage condo developer, and she's a host of Cars and Capital, and she sells property, and she's a TV personality and a host, and she's still doing a billion things. But Chantele, I could really see that for you too. I think you've lived such a good life. You could do a laundry list of all your things that you've done.
I know, and it ends up happening. And I probably would be dominating like a conversation if we're talking about ourselves, whatever, what you're doing, what you have going on. So yes, I can relate to having a lot of experiences and being good at a lot of different things.
Yeah, I have a lot of experiences as well, but I have an awful memory, and so I'll be like, "Yeah, I've never done that," and then 3 days later, I'll be like, "I have done that. I guess I should have mentioned that."
Maybe you should read your own resume sometimes.
Well, the problem is when I write it, I'll forget stuff, so it's not good. I need to start making a running list of all the crazy stuff that I've done, because maybe it'll come in handy one day. I don't know. They get back
one
to
of
the
these
house.
dating shows.
Yeah, I can just be like a chameleon, like, or if I ever go on Big Brother, I could be like, you lie about your job.
You would go on Big Brother?
Never.
Okay, would you rather go on a love show or a competitive reality show?
Love show.
Gotta choose. Oh,
easily.
Which format would be your favorite format to experience?
I don't know a lot of formats. I just kind of know this kind of format, like the Bachelor style.
Well, I mean,
format.
I just kind of mean, do you want the Bachelor? Do you want like Love Island? Do you want the
no, I can't
Love?
Do
do you want
can't do Love Island. Put me on the Golden Bachelorette. Put me on the Golden Bachelorette. Put me with my people. Put Unc with his folks. They, like, I can't do the Love Island. All that laying around kissing all day. Hey, y'all ain't got no jobs. Y'all ain't got no, y'all gonna be doing with y'all time. Y'all ain't got no hobbies. So
No
not
hobbies.
for me. Not for me. So they get back to the house. And he has to speak with the other women too, because he's had almost no FaceTime with the other women outside from the motocross thing. So he starts working the room. He goes to Christia and asks her how she would feel about the partying and the rock star lifestyle. She's like, I'm chill, but the conversation doesn't really connect for the two of them. And he also says she has the tiniest ass he's ever seen, but I didn't think it sounded like derogatory. I think it was something about her tiny ass that turned him on. He didn't say it, but he did shine
we're
light
adding
on
it
it
to the list.
I can't add it to the list because there's going to be so much that he says does turn him on that I want to give him credit for the ones that do and the ones that don't.
So there's not going to be honorable mentions then.
Oh man, see now I need a 3-page spreadsheet. I need to get my Google Doc out. Michael Horn says, Chantele, what about you? Competitive reality show or dating show?
Oh, I like money. So I think that I would want to go on and I'm competitive. I'd want to go to a competitive reality show, I think. I know you don't want to do that, but like I enjoy playing orgs. I like playing board games. So the game of it all is sounds more fun to me than being like vulnerable, And I think I'd go on a competitive show. Actually, I know I would.
I think
and maybe I'd find love there.
Yeah, maybe you find love on a competitive show. Like, people find love on Big Brother all the time. Maybe even on day 2.
Yeah, maybe I'd find my Rome.
Maybe you'll find your Rome. They put the Rome in romance. Mr. Roybot does point out that maybe tiny asses were in back then. They were the trend. So
it was before the BBL trend came in.
Well, it's funny too because we just watched Flavor of Love season 2 not too long ago, and you wouldn't know it over there because Flav was very happy to see people like Delicious walking by with all that ass.
Right. I would have to say the difference between the person doing the choosing. I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody would deny Delicious's, but
she had that whole diner in a blender, remember? She couldn't even do the challenge. They were like, ma'am.
Do you think though Brett would be interested in Delicious's butt? Would it go on the meter?
I think it would have to. I just don't think I don't think he can deny it. Even if he's in a tiny butt, I think you got to make an exception for Delicious. I think you're like, all right, she can stay. So it's something to think about for sure. Brett is talking to Sam, but he's looking at her legs and body, and she's kind of hitting him. My eyes are up here. It's like, you shouldn't have told that man you wanted to orgasm because now he can't unsee it.
Mm-hmm. My eyes are up here.
He's like, I don't care. I don't care.
Also, though, it was kind of rude. I thought that how she was saying that, because at one point he was just kind of talking this way, and she I get it. You want him to look in your eyes and try to make a romantic connection and try to go in for a kiss, but I kind of thought it sounded a little rude. The first one, anyways.
I just don't think Sam is right for this competition. I don't think this is going to end well for her at all. She's on borrowed time. I think pretty soon Brett's going to be like, you just don't have the same speed that he's looking for. I think there's a little bit of a connection there, but he's going to be a lot more physical publicly than she's willing to let on, it seems. Because Brandy C, they're already kissing. They're we cut to her. She just says she babbles something randomly, and the next thing you know, they're kissing. Aaron is also there talking to Brett, talking about how she's not there for TV. And then Lacey is taking the opportunity to talk about how Dallas was shoving her. She's like, and then she pushed me. I was like, of course, you're going to blame Dallas for all the stuff. But Brett wants to get to the bottom of it. So he brings Dallas out, and they're able to tell each side of the story. And again, Lacey's very much like, and you don't understand how animals feel and all this other stuff. And Dallas's point is, I don't care what you do with your time. If you don't want to eat animals, if you don't want to wear animals, don't. Just leave me alone. And again, I'm like, I just think Dallas is making some valid points. Lacey, mind your own damn business.
Yes, leave me alone. If I say leave me alone, just leave me alone. Please.
Just leave me alone. Because again, if Dallas pushed you, then we'd be having an issue, right? So Lacey wants Dallas out. Dallas is concerned that Brett will take Lacey's word for how, Dallas's personality and kick her out before they even get to know each other. Sam is concerned about her time in the game, and so is Christia. But when it's time to give out our backstage rocker passes, Brandy M is first. He calls her a wild thing. Chantele, I think he really does enjoy Brandy M. He's always very excited whenever she pops on the screen.
Yeah. Does she just herself you get on the meter?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say it like just Brandy M makes me horny, but I'm sure he said it in episode 1.
Yeah, you might have to go back and find.
Oh, I am.
What was I gonna say? He does seem to like really pretty girls, and so I think that Brandy's really, really pretty, and I think that we're starting to weed off the people that he doesn't find to be super, super pretty.
And he gave her a nickname. He calls her Wild Thing. I don't think anybody else has gotten a nickname from him. So I think that's a positive vibe.
Okay, we'll keep that on watch too.
Right. Next up, Clavicle Jess. He says, we haven't had enough time to connect. And so I wanted to keep you around for another day or so we have time to do that. To me, although she got the second pass, that doesn't sound very promising. Like, we haven't had time to connect, so I'm going to keep you around for another day. Like,
I don't like her hair, but I do think she's also very pretty. And so this is what I'm saying. I think that he's a visual person. And I think that he's like, let's give her another chance because she's really pretty.
Yeah, maybe there's something there once I can get to her. Heather, he feels very strongly about, and she gets the third pass. Then Rodeo, Brandy C, Aaron, Mia, Magdalena, Sam. And we have one pass left between Dallas and Lacey and Christia. Lacey ends up getting the pass here. Christia is the first one eliminated, and Brandy C is distraught because this is her Barbie twin sister. Aww. And she says she's losing her best friend in the game.
She is. I'm surprised that they would have broken the two of them up. I feel like maybe someone else could have gone over her, but I like them together as friends.
If I had to cut somebody this episode, it's Mia. We didn't get any screen time with her. We don't know.
I was like, actually, I don't know what she looks like right now off the top of my head.
I think she's just very pretty. And so I think that's why she's sticking around. Because I'm like, hey, if we keep in the drama, I think you need both of those Barbie twins together. Because I think together they're more powerful. I think Brandy C might lose a little bit of her spark without Christia there. So Christia is very sad to go, but Brett just said there's no connection there. Now he does end up looking at Lacey and Dallas and choosing to keep Lacey. Heather says Dallas is going home because she was on Lacey's shit list, and you don't want to get on her bad side. What did you think about Dallas's exit? I'm sorry, from the house.
Well. Yes, it was kind of rude, but also she's really insulted, and you could I knew that he wasn't keeping her. He's not interested in her. He's not. Didn't find him to be attracted to her. I think he thought she was wild and crazy on the motorbikes and thought that was decently entertaining, I guess. But I don't know. I didn't like that he was like, "Oh, it's so rude that you didn't say goodbye to me after you've been here a couple of days." It's kind of like, well, you just kind of embarrassed her and took the side of somebody that was antagonizing her. I wouldn't hug people if I was being kicked off of Big Brother. I don't know if I would hug this guy either.
Right. Flav used to do them. Okay, well, if you had love for me, you'll come, boy, show your boy some love. Flav was very, very much a where my hug at type bachelor. Before you even got to you couldn't even get mad at him before he was always like, hey, come show me some love.
I'd give a really, really soft hug. I don't know. I'd be irritated.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Don't break up with me and then want a hug from me. I gotta make you feel better for what you just did. So
right. Don't touch me, Camu. Yeah, this was very similar. Dallas is eliminated and she's like, nah, I don't want to talk to you. And she storms out of the house. Now, mind you, I think she has to go upstairs and then out the door. Kind of like
found the door.
The BB Can house. Yeah, for sure. Now, while she's exiting, Lacey's downstairs like, wow, Dallas being so rude. How dare you leave like that? I was like, oh my God, Lacey, give it a rest. She's so annoying.
She's pretty insufferable. I am curious to see if somebody else is going to merge or emerge into her next foe. There's got to be
Right.
somebody. Like maybe. Well, who else is left that's on the good girl side?
Well, they hate Erin and her breast. And so
yeah.
that she could be a target. Mia's over there. They called Magdalena.
I don't know who Mia is.
Nobody does. They called Magdalena the Neanderthal in this episode. She's on the good side.
So kind of boring. She's very pretty.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dallas's Instagram right now. It's pretty cool. I don't think you definitely shouldn't look because we're avoiding spoilers. But yeah, I've seen her. It looks like she has some other credits under her name as far as appearances. But yeah, I enjoyed Dallas's time for what it was. I think that she handled herself about as good as she could with somebody putting their hands on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be that good. I'm not even a violent person at all. Yeah, I would like so. Okay, on Friday night, I was helping out and I was hosting at the restaurant. And it's like, it's like the was at the bar side. And so we have like carpeted floors or whatever, but it's pretty small. And there's just like a small walkway between some booths and the bar. And so like I was hostessing, but like, that means I'm also like resetting tables, like running food. Like I'm pretty much doing everything. And I'm running back and forth a lot. And so I was setting a table and like I needed to polish some glasses and bring it to one of the tables, like one of the booths. And there's a guy that was sitting on the stool at the bar, but facing outward. And as I'm running by, he extends his effing leg and
Wow.
I face plant on the ground, dropped everything that I was carrying. And I hurt my knee, whatever. And he comes to touch me to help me. And I'm like, get the fuck out. Like, I'm screaming at him, don't effing touch me, because like it just he touched me basically and I fell, and I know it wasn't on purpose, but my immediate reaction was don't touch me. Like I didn't want to be touched by him anymore. So I can understand getting violent if somebody touches you, because it's like, get your hands off of me. Like don't touch me. So I'm impressed that she didn't have as violent reaction that I had, but someone that was by accident like tripping me. And then somebody that was purposefully pushing my buttons and wanting me to hit them. So yeah, I might have been.
Do you think we ever see Dallas again?
Well, you just said yes.
I didn't say that.
Well, you said more credits.
Yes, but do we ever see Dallas again?
Okay, if there's like Charm School 2, she's on it. She's on it. Her and Lacey are on it. They need to have a repeat.
Yeah, look, I would be into that if that's going to happen, but we won't find out for a very long time because we are creeping up on episode 4 of Rock of Love. Now, we have had some assistance. Let's pull back the curtain a little bit. For the people who've been here since the Flavor of Love days, we started off watching Flavor of Love. It was available on YouTube. By the time we got to I Love New York and Flavor of Love season 2, the episodes were not on YouTube anymore. So we had to find ways to watch them. And we got some assistance from one of our listeners, David Healy, who has provided us with plenty of episodes of these shows so that we can keep watching them and follow along. David Healy has volunteered his time as a guest for this podcast for episode 4. He says that's one of his favorite episodes. And so next week, Chantele and I will be live and David will be joining us to talk about episode 4 of Rock of Love. And so I'm very excited for that.
Favorite episode. This is big shoes.
Yeah, he said this is the one that he really likes. And so I'm very excited to see what he has to say about that. Later on in the season, we definitely have to have Matt Scott back to talk about the show as well. But yeah, let's see what David has to say.
What's the episode title? I wonder if I can do any guessing as to, or if it's cryptic, because like last one was like, we're going motocrossing or whatever.
Right.
It's pretty obvious, but
this one isn't. This one is pretty obvious as well. It's called Riff It Good.
Riff. Oh, so this is like singing.
Sounds like a music challenge to me.
Okay. So,
think of all the lies you say. Think of all the lies you say. So we'll be back next week to talk about that music challenge. Big shout out to B_Stagner in the chat. says, I love this podcast, and Chantele should have her own dating show too. And
It said Chappell first, though.
I don't know about that. And so we'll be back to talk about the prospects of Chantele's dating show later on, and much, much more. But Chantele, tell everybody where they can find you and what you're working on until we come back for episode 4.
What am I working on? Well, yesterday I did go live with Taryn to talk about Friday on the live feeds. So that was on RHAP. Always a good time talking with Taryn. I will be going to Milwaukee at the end of this month. So if you guys are interested in hanging out, chatting, playing games, and doing all the things, there'll be a lot of podcasters there just hanging out and having a good time. So you can find me there. I do have my own reality TV podcast channel, Reality Realness with 3 S's. We'll be starting the challenge very soon. So season 42 of the challenge is starting up, I believe, this Wednesday. And so that's happening. Finish Love Island UK. What else is going on? I think that's about it. I'm here every Sunday.
I'm so excited for the challenge. I rarely watch the show. But I started recently back onto the challenge. I used to watch it way back when, and so I'm excited to hear see the show, but also to hear your coverage of it. It's going to be so much fun. So I would definitely be checking you out on Reality Realness with 3 S's.
And you might be coming on and chatting with me.
Ooh, okay, let me keep my fingers crossed for that one. I will not be in Milwaukee, so have fun with Chantele and Mari. For the Recap Kickback listeners, y'all know these people. And take a photo with them for me. Yeah, I think Matt Scott will be there Matt Scott will be there. Basically, everybody for Recap Kickback except me. So have fun talking to all of my friends, get some photos and all that good stuff.
Maybe we'll call in and get you in on the picture, be like, hey.
I would. Hey, look, I don't mind. I'll be feeling the FOMO anyway, so maybe we should just latch me in too. But make sure you're following the podcast, keeping up with everything else we have going on. I'm still covering Big Brother on RHAP behind the paywall, and the YX Lost. And
how's that going?
It's been cool. David has his rules, and we go through them every week. And I mean, these last couple people have broken a lot of rules, and so it's been a fun time to talk it through with David. And then BB Unlocked, I believe, will be back next week as well, or this week as well. And so I'll be covering that on RHAP as well. And then here we have our Rock of Love coverage. We also have House of the Dragon coverage with me and Mari, and G and I are working on something else in the meantime. So make sure you're subscribed to the podcast to keep up with everything that we have going on. But that's it. So for Chantele and for myself, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.
I've been trapped behind Tall Maria, isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreams. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.